It's
gross.
It's proven to be more difficult than I remember it as a child. I do have a little bit of a travel day concern today. After we packed our wheel bearings last week, I noticed a big change in our brakes. The automatic adjusting Dexter axles don't adjust. Fingers crossed, our little adjustment trick works. This is a little bird sanctuary area, but I think we have an intruder today.
Northern Illinois has a few tricks up its sleeve. We're going to show you one of them today. It doesn't matter what time of year we come here, this place is packed.
There's a ton of people here today.
But there isn't a trail that you'd be disappointed with.
But they have lots of overflow parking. You shouldn't have any issue getting in here in a car. There are some low clearance bridges, so if you're in like a Class C or something like that, you might want to check the route ahead.
Definitely, good call. Lots of dogs here. Every time we come, it's a very pet-friendly area to hike.
You guys may be asking us why we didn't bring our dogs with us. Well, Eris barks a lot, and we would be carrying Charlie already, and we're only about 5 minutes into this.
Yes. I like parks like this where you can get a big get like in a mile or
this is 2.5. This one's 2.5 miles.
I'll repeat my sentence. I like those easy gets, but you could spend an entire day here. They have a lot of great trails, and you could stop and picnic or fish. So it's as little or as much as you want.
This is Starved Rock Park, and this is a long one, so I'm gonna look at my phone. This is the Eagle Cliff Overlook, Wildcat Canyon, and French Canyon Loop. Found this on All Trails. It's about a 2.5 mile loop. Not too bad. Weather's not horrible and got a little breeze, so we'll make it. Pro tip, if your wife walks faster than you, make her hold your hand. For some reason, Angela just loves to blaze through these trails 100 miles an hour. I don't walk that fast. I don't walk slow, but I don't walk that fast. And it's the weekend, so I'm not really getting in a hurry for anybody. Hold her hand. Bring her down to your speed.
I blame my mom. My favorite trip is definitely the one at the end of February when we came and the temps were very bearable for what we had seen. So there were still a lot of people
bearable.
here.
It was probably, 40, 45 degrees, but it was February in Illinois, so it was actually kind of nice.
And we went down into one of the canyons and all the water was frozen, but they have caves that you can walk into and under.
And if you're lucky, some days there's people playing instruments and stuff in those little canyon areas. So
yeah,
really cool spot. It's a great place to get out in the winter time. Get out of the house, go see something beautiful.
Very true. Squirrel, are you still here? That's a little greedy, sir.
He's been here. We were on that hike for 65 minutes, and he's been here the entire time.
Eating. I saw you. Yeah, look at him peeking around. You gone yet? You gone? I gotta eat. Doing a walk of shame.
It's like, I don't want to be watched.
We've had a handful of people say that Cody looks like various movie stars. The Kevin Harvick one.
I don't see that.
I'm not seeing that one.
I didn't necessarily see Billy Bob Thornton either, but
his younger years.
We've seen a lot of comments from you guys that you have been unsubscribed from our channel on YouTube. We've seen other comments on other people's channels where people are going, hey, I subscribed, now I'm unsubscribed. A lot of people have reached out to us about it. We don't have an answer for you. I've done a lot of research online trying to figure this out, and there's no rhyme or reason, but we've noticed it happened to us on a couple of channels that we follow. So if you would, go ahead and check and make sure you're still subscribed. If you haven't, please do subscribe. It helps out the Google Analytics and it supports us in a ton of ways, and it helps push it out to new viewers, and hopefully we can bring more people along the journey with us.
What's cool about this area is not only does Starved Rock have a lot of different options for trails where you could spend the entire day or days doing different trails. There's also a state park just a few miles down the road from it, Matthiessen State Park, or at least that's what I've always called it.
We're probably pronouncing it wrong.
It's much smaller in scale, but it has some really neat hikes as well. For now, we're gonna go check on the pups and see how mad they are at us. It's travel day today.
Good morning, folks. It is travel day and it's a little bit cool this morning. Excuse the sprinkles all over my shirt. I've been unhooking water and stuff like that. I do have a little bit of a travel day concern today. After we packed our wheel bearings last week, I noticed a big change in our brakes. Prior to packing the wheel bearings, you could do a tug test and skid the tires. The brakes were so good, even though they're worn a little bit, they were grabbing really well. They weren't grabbing so well last week. Just quite a bit less braking power, still, you know, safe, but different. So I did a little research online, and apparently sometimes these automatic adjusting Dexter axles don't adjust. So apparently the fix is just to back it up in reverse and tap the brakes, and that'll force them to self-adjust. I read that on 2 or 3 different forums and then talked to a couple people who've ran into this too. So we're gonna try to force the brakes to adjust this morning. And if that doesn't work, we'll dig into it a little further in Wisconsin. So fingers crossed, our little adjustment trick works. And we'll show you guys how that's done in just a few minutes when I get done putting all this stuff away. With the brake issue, we still had trailer brakes, they just weren't quite the same. I guess it makes sense when you take the drum off and you're moving stuff around in there and packing bearings and putting it all back together. I can see how the brakes would get knocked out of adjustment. It's just never happened to me before on any trailer doing wheel bearings, but something definitely changed. We had brakes, they were just really soft. So anyway, I'd read online that you could back it up, hit the brakes, back it up, hit the brakes, and it'll cause the self-adjusting mechanism to actually adjust. So what I did is I just pulled forward in the campground and I just back up that whole stretch, hit the brakes with the trailer brake controller there at the end, let it come to a stop. I did that 3 or 4 times and it gave me a lot of my trailer brakes back. They're pretty much where they were before I did the wheel bearings. They're still off just a tad. I mean, not to the point that it's uncomfortable or dangerous or anything like that, but they're still not quite there. So when I get to our next spot, which is a pull through, I'll probably do it again once or twice just to see. There's really no set number online that says how many times you need to do it. I just noticed every time I did it, it got a little bit better. Glad to have trailer brakes again that'll actually stop me. If you have the Dexter axles with the automatic adjusting brakes, I think easy adjust or whatever they call them, you can just back up, try hitting the trailer brake controller. I know some of these models have manual adjustments on them. Ours don't. There's nowhere on these brakes to manually adjust them. I wish there was, but that trick might help you out if you have a panic moment like me.
And if you do that in a campground, it gives your neighbors a little bit of a show before you leave. Make them go, what are they doing? These crazy people.
We had quite an audience. So we are leaving northern Illinois. This will be our last stop in Illinois for probably at least 3 or 4 months, I would say. And we are headed north to a place where we've passed by a bunch of times. We've only actually been in the city once for a small RV show they had a few years back, but we really haven't done anything there. It's beautiful. When we used to pass through there on our many trips back and forth from Illinois to Minnesota in a car, we used to always wake up the passenger, whoever was sleeping, just to see it through there. It's about to get really pretty, guys. That's what I'm telling you. Hang on, we'll be there in a jiffy.
We're very excited.
pulled over in a rest area here just to use the restroom real quick because in my infinite wisdom, I decided to go ahead and drink a bunch of coffee this morning. So I thought I'd go ahead and do one more backup brake adjustment. Just gonna grab the valve real quick. Now, as I move forward, let this truck get around me, we're gonna test this. Oh yeah, you feel it now? Like,
yeah.
Now it actually stops the truck and jerks like it used to. So,
excellent.
Yeah, just keep fiddling with it. That's probably the 4th or 5th manual, not manual adjustment, but I guess reverse adjustment. I learned that that's how these things auto adjust. They auto adjust in reversed and instead of forward. So that's something I never knew. Just goes to show you, no matter how long you do this, there's always a new trick to learn, and just be willing to try it. Not a big deal. I'm gonna call my brake concerns a non-concern.
We are headed to La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Actually, we're here, basically.
We're staying a little north of there in Holmen, Wisconsin. It's not because they have good cheese curd stores a few minutes from us. But the main purpose is to visit La Crosse. It was always one of our favorite areas. All this area in here is beautiful. Winona, Minnesota, just across the border, all of it is stunning. It would be really beautiful in the fall. The weather's perfect in the summer.
It's really a nice area. We used to run weekly for like the last 2 years. We had a house in Minnesota. We used to run pretty much weekly from southern Minnesota down to like the Rockford, Illinois or the Decatur, Illinois area. So we did a lot of miles on here, and it's always so pretty to go over the river and see the eagles, and it's just such a nice place. But we haven't spent a lot of time here, so Ange has us a full itinerary of stuff to check out
that he is not aware of.
She hasn't told me most of this. Full disclosure, it's our anniversary week, 21 years, and she is keeping me in the dark on a lot of our plans. So I can promise my surprise for her won't be nearly as interesting, but I'm excited to see what the week holds and bring you guys along with us.
Do you have a surprise for me?
No, not really. We said no.
Not really?
Well, we said no gifts, so.
So you mean you bought a gift?
I did not buy a gift. I bought a small.
Oh, Cody, he does this.
It's just a small
at Christmas
gift.
time.
It's a roll your eyes gift. It was nothing. Nothing. Not even worth filming. Nothing. It's nothing.
Every year.
It's literally nothing. I've learned my lesson. You learn as you get older. So we used to always say no gifts. We'll just go do something nice together.
And then he'd go buy a gift.
And I would go buy a gift, and I would overspend, and I would get in trouble. So I've learned when we agree no gifts, it means no gifts.
Who knew?
Every trip's a gift. We're always traveling and doing stuff, and we're really lucky and fortunate to do what we do every week. So we really don't buy as many gifts as we used to for any occasion because we're always just kind of going. So
okay, you're forgiven.
All right.
Crossing over into La Crosse, over the Mississippi River. My favorite season was winter, because you'd cross over it and it would be frozen over, and you would just see these little speckles of colored tints all up and down.
Little ice sheds.
Yeah, where people were ice fishing.
Not for me.
Not for me. But I still think it's a beautiful thing to see. And then the eagles were everywhere all over the ice. So it was always just a stunning view. We'll see how this week goes, but I don't think you can go wrong coming to this area.
She tells me we've got a lot planned. So we'll see.
just arrived at Whispering Pines Campground here in Holmen, Wisconsin. It looks beautiful. Staff was really friendly. I'm looking forward to this week.
It's open road. It's open road. It's open road.
That was probably the quickest setup we've had in quite some time. Whispering Pines Campground, Holmen, Wisconsin. First impressions, this place is pretty great. We've got a huge yard, easy pull through. We have gravel this time, so no more mud. I can clean some of the mud off the trailer. Good spot for Starlink. I mean, we probably had this whole thing set up in what, 10 or 15 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, this,
Whatever your process, take your time. Don't
Sure.
set a time to it. We have gotten pretty quick in our setup process, but we read each other and we know what we're looking for.
it's kind of hard to mess this one up though. They make it really, really easy here. It's right off the highway. It's close to a gym. It kind of checks all the boxes, but I have a problem I have to address and you're not going to like it. There are all these little seed pods. See those? I don't know if you can see those or not. Those are seeds, and when you wipe them off, they leave a little residue.
I'm sorry to tell you, those aren't seeds, those are eggs.
Well, eggs, seeds, whatever they are. We think they're from these strange black and red bugs we kept seeing at the last place.
They're gonna be unhappy that we took all their babies.
I mean, I feel bad about doing it, but it's
It's gross.
kind of an eyesore, so I'm going to go ahead and eradicate that here in a second with some on and off wax.
You get after that.
Well, what are you going to do in the meantime? The inside's already set up, so don't say that.
Well, I mean, the weather's nice. I mean, the pups can get some sunshine.
We've got all those rags, you know. We could both work at the same time.
You could do both hands at the same time.
I can't win for losing, but it's our anniversary week, so I guess you're immune from having to clean the trailer.
I don't know how that works, but I'm going with it.
That's my gift to you, is a clean trailer. You guys will remember back a few weeks ago when I stomped Angela in a bike race, my chain popped off.
That's debatable.
But I told him I was going to whip you at a bike race, and I did. I whipped my bike too.
You say that you did, but I don't think anyone believes it. Oh, something's broken.
I lost my chain. It broke. It's for sure gone now. So we thought we'd take a nice bike ride, but I got to get this chain pop back on first. It's proven to be more difficult than I remember it as a child. Watch me completely destroy something on this bike. Forward. Oh, we got it. Keep going. We're there. Nice. I don't know what we did right or wrong. I just know that we broke our electric bike. Then we repaired our electric bike. It appears they have a private beach here in Wisconsin. That's pretty awesome. Mini golf. I listened to you complain for 3 days about you burning your elbows after 3 jumps on the last jumping bean. No. Show them. Show them.
I did burn my elbows.
That's from the jumping bean. We were on there for less than 60 seconds. So no more jumping bean. Leave it to the kids.
Having the brakes fixed really sets my mind at cheese. Did you hear about the cheese factory over in France that got blown away by a tornado?
I didn't know they had tornadoes in France to begin with.
All that was left was debris.
I don't get it. How have I dealt with this for almost 21 years? You keep it up, it may not be 22. Just kidding.
Is that a threat? Oh my goodness, you should get to work.
I'm going. I've got to get this plug off of here. Ooh, I don't want to get that plug off of there. No, I don't.